Quarter, the Warriors were looking like they were on their way to losing their 7th straight road game. But from that point on, through the end of the third quarter, they outscored San Antonio 52-28 to take control of this basketball game. It was all led by the chef, Steph Curry, 46 big points, 15-16 from the free throw line, 5 made threes, and the Warriors feel good about themselves with a monster win in San Antonio, handing the Spurs their first home loss of the season and withstanding 2 triple-doubles from the San Antonio sideline. Victor Wembanyama and, of course, Stephon Castle. But we're jacked up here on Toyota Warriors post-game live as the Warriors rally through against San Antonio. Timely threes in the fourth quarter. Fezzi can't wait to talk about it. He's an NBA champion. Festus Ezeli. I am Bonta Hill.
Bonta, I did my part, okay?
You did your part.
Steve Kerr said he wanted to switch things up today, and I switched things up. I got the leather pants on. I'm doing all sorts of stuff over here on this show just to bring some energy to the show today so they can bring some energy to the game tonight. What you think, Bonta?
I don't know if Kerr wanted you to bring leather pants. He wanted the energy, but you know what? Steph would approve, right? Because he was balling tonight. Jimmy Butler came along for the ride. Draymond Green's defense on Victor Wembanyama. And, of course, the veterans showed up. They set the tone. Moody had a big first half. And the Warriors, they could feel good about themselves, improving to 7-6.
Lost 6 games in a row coming into tonight. You need to get a win. Who do you lean on? You lean on your veterans. You lean on Steph Curry. You lean on Draymond Green's defense. Jimmy Butler came through, was getting some points in the paint. Hit a bunch of threes tonight. What about Jimmy? 5 for 7 from the three-point line. All those buckets were huge. But I want to say, Steve Kerr started a different lineup today. Moses Moody did a great job of spacing the floor. His three-pointers in the first half actually gave the Warriors a lot of life, kept them in the game. Victor Wembanyama is a force of nature. Defensively, he made the Warriors scared to touch the paint. And things did not change until Steph Curry started to attack, and then the offense opened up for the Warriors there in the third and fourth quarters.
Yeah, Moses Moody, 19 points in the start, 5 of 10 from the three-point line. Well, Richard had a timely 3 in the fourth quarter, which ironically came on his first shot of the basketball game, but it was all about the chef because in his previous six games, he was struggling. Remember, he missed 3 consecutive games due to general illness, but you see the percentages right there, 39% from the floor, 33% from the three-point line, and tonight he started off slowly. You just heard him with Fitchibuki. He kind of had to gather himself late in the second quarter, and then he erupted, especially in the third quarter with 22 points to give the Warriors the lead, 46 big ones. Again, we're going to go through all the graphics, and next thing you know, they still won there. It's 73.
Steph, 5 for 16 from the three-point line. That means, Bonta, if I'm doing the math correctly, that means he was 8 for 9 going into the paint tonight from the two-point range. You see him right there against Luke Cornett. He was hunting mismatches, coming off of the pick and roll, trying to get to the cup, get those easy ones, get those free throws so the Warriors can set their defense on the other end. Steph was magical there in the third quarter. 22 points. Man, they needed every one of those tonight, Bonta.
They certainly did. His 43rd 20-point quarter, of course. That leads the NBA. But you see this graphic right here. Most 40-point games after turning the age of 30. Well, they always say Steph is aging like a fine wine. Whenever you're in company with Kobe Bryant, James Harden, Larry Bird, and Michael Jeffrey Jordan, you're doing something good.
And shout out to Dame Lillard on this list, too. Get well soon, brother. But Steph Curry just continues to wow us. I said before the game, Steph is the reason why those arenas are full. And you see all the fans, everybody's excited to see him. He put on a show tonight for sure.
He's 23rd all-time on the NBA scoring list, passing the great Alex English. I don't know if you knew this, Fezzi, but Alex English led the NBA in scoring in the 80s. Wow. In the era with Patrick Ewing, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Alex English is the leader there. So shout out Alex English. Steph Curry's just moving up that ladder.
I mean, every night you see something different. You know, tonight was a game where you needed Steph. You needed that veteran leadership. You needed him to come into the game. And after last night, where he came into the game, was his first game. He was sick, still trying to get into the condition. Tonight, you saw a different Steph. He was going to will this team to win no matter what. And you saw him coming off of screens. You saw him running, back cutting. Even his cuts and his gravity made guys jump. And GP2 got a couple layups. Jimmy Butler got a couple layups. Guys were getting threes off of that gravity. You have to hit those threes. And because of Steph, because he's getting that attention, all those guys, the Moses Moody's, the Al Horfords, the Will Richards, hitting those threes now makes the Warriors' offense work. So you got to give a credit to the whole team.
Stephon Castle was all over him, especially in that first half. Of Stephen Curry made him work, got into foul trouble, and then you get to the third quarter where he let out a big boom after making a three-point shot because you know what? It was his 43rd quarter with at least 20-plus points. He's dusting Kobe Bryant. He's dusting James Harden, Devin Booker, Dame Lillard. Look at that company right there, 43 20-point quarters. I mean, that is insane, Fezzi.
I mean, you have to think that a lot of these are also coming in playoff situations, tough situations, trying to bring his team back situations. Just elite company right there. Steph he has been the guy to lead this franchise. We've talked so much about this being 16 years since the Warriors franchise was bought by Joe Lacob and Peter Guber. But Steph is the foundation this whole company has been built on. And it's somebody who I hope we continue to see this for a long time more, Bonte.
9 of 9 from the free throw line in that third quarter, 5 of 7 from the floor, 3 of 5 for the three-point line, and it was good to see it because he had been struggling with his shot. He looked a little sick yesterday, had a rough go in OKC, going 4 of 13 from the floor after making his first 3 shots. He plays on the back end of a back-to-back. He'll get a day off, but he turned back the clock tonight.
No, it's really interesting. Coming back, your legs are the last thing to come. When you get into the game after being off for a little while, especially with an illness, your conditioning is not the same. You have not been playing basketball, and you can't get in basketball shape unless you're on the floor. It says a lot about Steph coming back last night, and then tonight on a back-to-back, after being ill, still being able to will this team to win. How many minutes did he play tonight, Bonte?
He played 33 minutes.
33 minutes. I mean, everything that you wanted tonight, whether it was the three-point line, whether it was getting to the cup, he was running off of screens and getting those off-ball actions. I thought Steph played a beautiful game, but I thought even more, he brought the mojo back to the team. That's the confidence that you instill in your team when you play like this.
Well, think about the adjustment tonight. The 3 ball wasn't falling. Kind of like that Portland game when he said, I'm back. Remember game 4 up at Portland back in 2016? He took his game inside the three-point line, got a couple bank jump shots there from 15, 18 feet, and that got his game rolling.
That's even more important because the San Antonio Spurs, they have a 7'5" Hulk in the middle of the paint. So nobody comes into the paint. They have the fewest paint attempts in the NBA because everybody's scared to shoot layups. And the Warriors were too. In the first half, the Warriors, all of the 40 shots the Warriors took, 29 of them were threes. Steph Curry made the initiative to go in the third quarter, understanding that you cannot win this game. You can't get easy shots unless you go into the middle of the paint. And a lot of those times he was going against Victor Wembanyama. It says a lot that Steph was able to go against the Giant, and I think everybody else followed suit. You saw offensive rebounds follow after that. You saw guys hit their shots. Just that confidence that I'm talking about. I thought the offense came back in full life after that.
And the defense stepped up in that third quarter. San Antonio was getting any shot they wanted in that first half. Stephon Castle was getting to the cup. Victor started doing his thing, but the Warriors flipped, and I thought their defense, I'll give their defense credit, Fezzi. Moody healthy, and he's letting it fly.
Moses is shooting the leather off that basketball right now, and I don't think he's one of those guys that Steve Kerr is talking about when he needs energy. You see right there, that was in the first half attacking the rim, and every time the ball just seems to find you when you're making great plays. I thought Moses' energy was electric. It was one of the things that got the Warriors in the game or kept them in the game and got Steph going earlier in the second half. So shout out to Moses Moody for really coming in ready and stepping into that role as a starter tonight.
And you know what? He showed the coaching staff something and his teammates something last night. They're getting blown out in Oklahoma City. He hustles back on defense with Alex Caruso. Looks like he's just going in for a layup and a dunk. Moody gets all the way back, blocks that shot, and it's like, okay, he's still playing hard. I think the coaches took notice, put him in that starting lineup. He's going to earn some minutes. Now he's playing hard, and he's getting rewarded for it.
He's been shooting the ball extremely well. He's been playing incredible defense, and it's electric. It's something that's contagious to everybody else. In that starting lineup, his role is to be the shooting guard. And what that is for him is he has to hit those open shots. When he hits those shots, Jimmy, Draymond, Steph, all those guys can operate better because now those off-the-ball shots, those things that some of the defenders might sag off of, they get up on him, they create more space, and I thought Moses Moody did a great job of creating offense. All those things that you see later on with Steph going crazy, that's because the defender doesn't want to leave Moses because he's so hot tonight.
And then Draymond Green's defense on Wemby. Hell, Wemby to 3 of 10 shooting. Personally would live with those shots. We talk about it all the time with Draymond Green. If he's wide open, he has the form to shoot it. He's been shooting 45% this season. Those shots are going to be open for him throughout the season. On the scouting report, everybody's going to say, leave Draymond open. I like the fact that he let him fly tonight.
Yeah, he took those shots early in the game. And another thing that I saw happen tonight was because Draymond missed some of those shots, Victor Wembanyama sat off of him. That means more dribble handoffs with him and Steph. That play is something that they've been doing for so long, and this is why .5 basketball is so important for the Warriors. When they have that dribble handoff and Steph can pass it to Draymond, and he can, that pick and roll game, that's something that's so key for them. So making the shot for Draymond, that's secondary. He has to take those shots, but if he doesn't make those shots and the defense sags off him, there's a second action that they can do. That's what you saw tonight. I've seen stagnant offense the past few games. I thought tonight the Warriors went back to their true identity, which is ball movement.
We're not the biggest fans of plus-minus, but Draymond Green did have a game-high plus 15 for the Golden State Warriors in the plus-minus department. But overall, a really good win for the Golden State Warriors. They had lost 6 in a row on the road. San Antonio was